My name is Dr. Randy Hyde. I want to talk to you about the emotional or psychological basis that sometimes, but rarely, occurs with enuresis. Sometimes a child can regress or go back to an earlier stage when they were fully in control or healthy. And by doing this, they go back to where they're wetting the bed, they're talking baby talk, they're acting younger. And this usually occurs when there's a trauma or a change, such as a little baby brother or sister is born, there's a move, a best friend leaves, a divorce, things like this where a child who is developing goes back to an earlier stage. Another reason is an older brother might want the same attention that a baby brother is getting. Another is fear. A child is stuck in bed because he knows there is monsters under the bed, and as soon as he gets out of bed, they're going to grab him by the ankles, pull him under the bed, and eat him. Well, with that kind of imagination, the last thing he's going to do is get up in the middle of the night and go potty. Another reason is a child's simply unmotivated. They don't want to get up. They like the attention. I had a son who loved the commercial with pull-ups, and they talk about be a big boy now. Well, the last thing he wanted to do was give up his pull-ups because he wanted to be a big boy now. There are all those different factors that enter in. But I want you to remember that the psychological or emotional factors are rare. Rarely do they enter in. It's usually physiologically based.
Randy, I find that amazing. I think the general perception is that bedwetting is generally a psychological problem.
It is amazing. And yes, that is still hanging on. But it's just wrong. Research is huge. I mean, we've got so much research showing that it's physiologically based generally. In fact, other things are like that. They used to blame mothers for autism. Well, after the research came out, it's like, oh, it's not that they have cold mother. We progress with research and our understanding.
I think a lot of mothers are going to feel really bad because so often you just think the child's being lazy and you discipline them for that. But sounds like a lot of children just cannot physically help that.
That's right. But the good news is there is good help available. So rather than feeling guilty as a parent or blaming a child, now you can help them.